Hey y'all, if this year's Grandin Road's Halloween decor has got you screaming at the price tag, no worries, I got you. I made 3 luxury Grandin Road dupes at a fraction of the price that's gonna blow your spooky mind. And honestly, I'm thinking mine turned out even better. So let's get into these luxury Grandin Road Halloween dupes without the luxury price tag. Dupe number 1 with an abracadabra. Grandin Road turns a simple accent into their famous pre-lit Halloween topiary. It includes 75 warm white lights, a midnight black finish, all fixed in a glossy ceramic pot. It's sized for a tabletop or even a mantle. It has a 6-hour timer and runs on 4 AA batteries. Gorgeous? Absolutely. But even on sale at $59, regularly $99, that's a steep price for one spooky little plant. So here's the magic trick. I made mine for just $22. And I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. So, are you ready to DIY your own luxe dupes? Here's the supply list. Pause it, screenshot it, and let's get into this magic. I am at Hobby Lobby shopping for 3 boxwood spheres, aka topiary balls. I found 2 for $6.99 and 1 for $3.99, but they are also 40% off, totaling around $11. For the stem, I'm using a 3/8 by 36-inch wooden dowel. These are also sold at Walmart and Michael's too for under $1. Mine was just 78 cents at Walmart. Grabbed floral foam from the Dollar Tree, and I already have black spray paints left over from another project. So, 0 extra cost there. I'm loving the $3.99 price of this cauldron on the right from the at-home store, but honestly, the quality just isn't there. So, I'm going with this hammered metal cauldron from Home Goods for $9.99. Yes, it's about $6 more, but the quality and sustainability make it worth it. Plus, it's got that luxe look I want. I'll be painting one side to mimic the Grandin Road dupe, while keeping the other side with its original design for a 2-in-1 vibe. Now, the handles being looped in opposite directions seems odd, but I'm no cauldron expert, neither was I born a witch. I'm painting all 3 topiaries in the wooden dowel and using Rust-Oleum black gloss spray paint. I have all the supplies ready that I'm going to need, so I'm going to head outside with my bougie grass protector and thoroughly spray these topiaries one at a time, and then after about 40 minutes, I'll rotate them to paint their opposite sides. I'll also be painting the one side of the cauldron in Rust-Oleum matte black spray paint. I already had that as well from a previous project. Then I'm going to let the cauldron dry just enough to glue the floral foam inside so that the topiary doesn't shift or appear uneven once pushing the dowel through the foam. Now that the foam is secure, I'm going to slide this dowel right through the center of the foam. Then I'm going to slide the largest topiary ball next, and then the medium and the smallest. I did cut off about 1 inch from the dowel because the Grandin Road version is 20 inches tall, so I want this dupe to be the same. All topiary spheres are made different. Some are plastic, some hollow, and some foam. Mine are all woven plastic, so I had to adjust them on to be straight on the dowel, and that's fine. We'll work it out. Just take your time, be patient. DIY dupes are meant to be fun because when it all comes together, whew, it's magic. And now let me show you how my $21 dupe stacks up against Grandin Road's $99 version. Here it is, y'all. The Grandin Road pre-lit topiary side by side with my dupe. Honestly, I'm so glad I went with the hammered metal cauldron. It gives that luxe witchy vibe without the luxury price tag. DIY dupes like this prove you do not have to spend big time to get stunning results. You just need creativity, patience, and a little bit of paint. If you're loving these luxury Halloween vibes on a budget, hit that like button, subscribe, and stick around. I've got even more fabulous dupes coming your way. Number 2, Grandin Road Skeleton Hand Serving Bowl is dramatic, luxe, and made of aluminum with a stone-like finish. It definitely has presence on a Halloween table, but at this price point, you're paying more for the name than the look. No worries at all, y'all. This is where my DIY alchemy comes in. Now, the gag is, The skulls shown inside the bowl, yeah, those are sold separately. Grandin Road sells a set of 5 skull fillers for an extra cost on top of the bowl. So to get the full look, you'd be paying double. That absolutely did not sit right with me. So I created my own version for way less. And spoiler alert, this ended up being my favorite dupe of the bunch. But heads up, the way I made this, it is definitely not recommended for kids. Now, here's my recipe for this DIY alchemy. Pause it, screenshot it, so you can be an alchemist too. Yay! Looking closely to the texture of the bowl, you'll see a layering of colors. I'm seeing dark bronze, copper, and black. So I'm going to be using 2 different bronze plus a rose gold spray paint along with some free sand to create a vintage stone look, giving this bowl that luxe expensive vibe. The bowl and pedestal needed can be found in the party section of Dollar Tree, and the skeleton hands are there as well. I also found a bag of 6 medium-sized skulls for $5 versus Grandin Road's for $69. I now have all the supplies needed to get started. The skeleton hands, my clear bowl, and the pedestal. I'll also bring in some Gorilla Glue. I already had this rose gold spray paint on hand, but I did go ahead and buy this dark bronze hammered look spray paint, but it will only be used to grip the sand I'll be spraying on while it's still wet. This darker bronze will be the final finish to get that luxe vintage appeal. Just for kicks, this is what it would look like if using the bronze hammered paint alone. Another option is stone spray paint, but the colors are limited. So let's glue these bowls together, and then I'm taking them outside for their first coat of the hammered bronze paint by Rust-Oleum. I'm also taking the sand outside with me because I want to spray the sand on the paint while it's still wet. And I'll be using a powder duster to spray the sand. This actually came with some diatomaceous earth that I use in my garden a while back, but I do know that they are sold separately. This may be common sense, but don't paint the inside if you plan on using it for food. I'm painting my inside and will just insert another plastic bowl inside if I decide to use it for food later. The heat here today is no joke, and the paint is drying way too fast. It is 94 degrees today, and as you can see, the paint is drying so fast, so I'm going to have to apply or spray some more and then restart the process of the sanding with the powder duster. My skeleton arm serving bowl dupe is almost 100%. I am so excited because I know at this time tomorrow, it's going to be 100% complete. Now we are on to the arms. To shape the arms around the bowl, I tried a couple of methods. Some people use hot water, but when I tried that, one of the arms snapped. So instead, I went with controlled heat, holding a lighter or using my gas stove on just the section I wanted to bend. Once the plastic softened, I bent it very slowly so it curved without breaking. If you try this, be extra careful, work in a ventilated space, keep flammables away, and let the plastic cool before handling. Definitely not kid friendly, and I mentioned that early on, but with patience, the arms wrap the bowl perfectly. I'm outside in this heat once again, painting the hands by layering spray paint and sand just like the bowl. Now let's glue these skeleton arms on. If you look closely at Grandin Road's version, you'll notice they used a cement-type adhesive, and they didn't even bother to paint over it, so it really stands out. I'm going to be using Gorilla Construction adhesive with clamps securing one side of the arm at a time around the curve of the bowl. I couldn't find the clear Gorilla construction adhesive, but that's fine. I've got just enough paint left over to cover it seamlessly. I don't trust hot glue in my demographics. It's way too humid. And over time, it expands and loses durability. So these will stay clamped to completely cure overnight. Then I'll finish with paint for the final reveal tomorrow. Yay! By the way, thanks for sticking with me. If you're still here, like this video and let me know in the comments. And don't forget, you can find step-by-step tutorials for all of my projects on lanidoesit.com. Now it's time for the skulls. Grandin Road went with tangerine, charcoal, and linen for their skulls. But as for me and my house, we'll be going with black, silver, and a pop of fuchsia. Here I am spray painting this outside. Whatever this brand spray paint is, it does not cover good. I think I used probably a whole bottle just to cover this one skull. So I definitely do not recommend it. And then we're ready to style it. Now before I style it my way, I do want to show you this option of using that bowl that we painted earlier. You could use that to fill the bowl some so that you won't have to use as much stuffing. And it may work out for you, but for me, I decided to remove that centerpiece and just use plastic bags, stuffing, and no centerpiece. I was able to balance the skulls much better that way, but I did just want to show you this option that you could do since you have that extra bowl there. To finish off this dupe, I'm filling the bowl so that my skulls will sit closely to the top. I stuffed the bottom with recycled grocery bags and ripped paper bags, then topped it with green craft moss so it looks full and lush without wasting extra skulls. Next, I arranged the skulls to mimic Grandin Road's design, and then time for a spin. Yes, I absolutely pulled out my bougie Lazy Susan so you can see every angle of this final reveal. Honestly, I loved how it turned out. It looks luxe, dramatic, and gritty all at once, and way more expensive than what I actually spent. And styled with my other Halloween decor, it's giving DIY Alchemist vibes all the way. I cannot wait to see how you put your own spin on this Grandin Road Halloween dupe. This was such a fun one to make, y'all. And don't go anywhere because we've still got one more dupe to reveal. But for now, let's let this skeleton hand serving bowl shine in the spotlight. You made it to the end, friend. Number 3 is my final dupe. Last but not least is Grandin Road's Batty wreath with ribbon. It's giving chic bat simplicity. Black bats swirl across a grapevine base with bronze ribbon, styled to be wispy and delicate for small spaces. I love the design, but I wanted more drama and fullness. So for my dupe, I built it bigger, bolder, and still bat chic. Or should I say spooky, yet bat chic. Here's a supply list. Pause it, screenshot it, so you can make your own version. Grapevine wreaths are sold just about everywhere. This one is $5.59 at Michael's. I already have multiple black spray paints left over from other DIYs, so I'll be painting this wreath with Rust-Oleum gloss spray paint in a black gloss. I'm gonna allow one side to dry and then painting the other. Painting both sides is optional since the back will be against the surface. While the wreath is drying, I found clip-on black bats at the Dollar Tree that were still $1.25 for 4. I counted around 20 bats on the Grandin Road's Batty wreath version, so I'm going to get about 8 more. So that's 7 packs, which totals around $9 after tax. I also got these black branches. I'm going to cut the branches off, so I got about 4 packs totaling around $5. Okay, so to make these Halloween branches fuller, I'm going to spread them over the wreath. I'm cutting the branches off the picks so that they become individual picks and sticking them into the grapevine wreath all the way around. The length can be trimmed later if desired. Once all the branches are in, I'm wrapping 2 of the garlands around the wreath. This part is optional, I mentioned that early on. Then I'm evenly clipping the bats on the branches, the garland, and the wreath itself all the way around. This DIY is the easiest of all. So easy, even kids can do this. Maybe not the spray paint, but everything else for sure. Once done, it should look similar to this, and the only thing left now is the big old ribbon. The Dollar Tree's inventory of ribbon will vary per store, but here's a visual of what you can expect. I also saw the dollar store ribbon price increased, and this project will require 2 packs based on the lengths of their ribbon, which would add up to about $3 to $4. Not bad, but I decided to go check Hobby Lobby clearance ribbon section. I found a huge light gold ribbon roll that will last for the rest of my life. It's about 100 yards, I believe, and it's similar to Grandin Road's version. It coordinates with my home decor and Halloween decor. You know what? And now that I think about it, I could actually sell y'all some yards if you decide to do this dupe and make my money back. Either way, this entire project cost me less than $30, even with this roll of clearance ribbon for $7.99. Plus, I had fun while doing it and making it my way. Here's the Grandin Road Batty wreath side by side with my dupe. Theirs is delicate, wispy, and cute for small spaces, but mine, I wanted more fullness, more drama, and more presence. Paired with the mirror backdrop, it feels bigger, bolder, and totally custom. That's the beauty of duping. You don't just copy, you elevate. Thanks for watching, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it just for you. Luxury isn't found on a shelf. It's created when you take simple things and turn them into something extraordinary. Every dupe is more than decor. It's proof that with vision and a little effort, you can transform anything, even yourself. Now that's the real glow up.